Okay, so once you have your communities, I have it sorted by recent. I'm on my third page, so I'm going to come down to our North America Swita Community Strawman that the 16 team members that have been working on this have been building out for us. And I'm going to go ahead and click on that, take me straight there. And once inside the community, you will see that many of the services that I've already shown you through the presentation are now also available in the context of the community. So if we go and look over to the left side, you'll see the navigation pane that has a lot of those things. So if we click on members, you'll see the list of the 16 members. You can show everybody if you like by clicking this up to 500, but there's 16 of us, so there's everyone that's been working on this. The neat thing about connections is that usually when you come across a name, you can hover over it and you can click here to visit their business card, and then you could see their blogs, their profile, their wiki, etc., and get to that. And there is some integration to Same Time. I'm not logged in right now, but you should be able to see their availability if you're logged into Same Time. So there is that. You can invite to your network. You can download their card if you want to put it into your notes, contacts, or your phone. Moving on down to the left, if we go to Wiki, I'm going to skip that for now just because that's where the meat of our content is. You'll see that a lot of the team members have ported over the content from our Wiki Central wiki, and there's a lot of links to other sites outside of the community that's helpful to get to things like work products that we do in team solution design, etc. There's the discussion forum. It allows you to ask questions and get feedback. So what you'll see in this forum, it's a lot like news groups from the 90s, I guess, if you're familiar with the way that they work, but it's a multi-threaded communication forum. So yes, that's what we use that for. We have the ability to pin important ones if we like, which will make them bubble up to the top. Feeds is the next section. So this is the RSS repository. If there are important feeds that we want the team to be able to follow, we can place them here. And if you go over to show details, it will go ahead and load the last entry from that feed. These feeds can be internal or external. And so it's taking a little time to load, but trust me. Moving on to bookmarks. This is like the same thing as what used to be called dog ear, and it's the same as bookmarks at the top of connections, except these are the bookmarks that the community feels are important. And if we label key bookmarks when we're at the overview page of the community, they'll come up to the right side of that first page when you get in. The next section is files, and I don't believe we're using too much with files, but we do have a few in here. I should mention that files in the context of community does not have the functionality of cattail or the files at the top of connections, and that you can't build collection of files. There's no way to group them. What you'll see some teams using activities to do that, which I haven't gotten to yet. So sometimes if you want to keep files and have there be some context around groups of files, you can use activities to do that. Or like we did, we built out the wiki in a way that is structured so that you can get to content navigating through subject areas. But this is a nice little dumping ground, I would say, if you want to share some files. And you can download them. You can say that they're key files or that you like them by doing the little star thing over here, recommendation, that sort of thing. The blog is a multi-user, multi-author blog in the context of the community, but should say this, that the blog does bubble up to the high level of blogs. So when you go to the context of your profile and you want to see blogs that you're working on, you'll see the community blogs that you're working on listed there, and there'll be a little thing that says it's a community blog. So that's important. And the same will be true in the functionality of blogs. I think most folks are familiar with. You can post what would be like a billboard, an opinion, or these are my thoughts, and people can comment on them. But it's not like the forum where it's threaded, where you can comment on comments really easy. There is I guess the approach that most people do with they'll do a little @ and referring to comments above them if they want to comment on the comment, but it's one level. It's not multi-threaded like the forum. Activities have the same context in that when you go back up to your own profile and you're looking at the things you're working on in activities, included in those activities will be your activities that are underneath communities. Activities also do not inherit the theme of the community. So in other words, if we had changed the color scheme of our community to be red, let's say, once you bounce out of the activity, or I mean of the community, and you go to the activity, you will notice that it automatically defaults back to the blue theme. It just so happens that our community is blue. So once you're in activities, you're still underneath the community, as you can see all these other things, but now when we, let's say, go over to one of these activities, that's when the color theme would go away. So that is the navigation at the highest level for the community. So I'd like to now go back to really where the meat of the content is, and that is the wiki. So if you're familiar with the wiki, it does allow you to have pages and then child pages and grandchildren, etc. It basically can handle any sort of HTML. So if you want to embed like we did an image map for some navigation that you see here, you can do that. And you'll see that our image map maps to the hierarchical scheme that comes with the wiki. So if you look at the left, we're now in the wiki where it's green right here. You know that you're in the wiki. You know you're on the welcome page, and then you know that there are other sections. So if you were to, and then these little twisties, just like other Windows Explorer or Lotus Notes or anything that you're familiar with, the expanding and contracting of a hierarchical menu works here. So in the meantime, or additionally I should say, we have image maps to also navigate you. So if I click on industry here, it will go to essentially where it would over here. So that's the navigation of our wiki. And as you go through and you land on these top level pages, you'll see the mind maps to also help with navigation. So now that we're in industry, if you wanted to go to frameworks, you can click on frameworks and it'll take you to the frameworks page, and there it will show you all kinds of links and information on our industry frameworks. But again, to the left, you still see that we're in the wiki, we're now underneath industry, and we're under industry frameworks. And so we didn't do image maps, all the way down to the great-great-grandchildren, but we did provide some at the top level so that you can jump to things that we felt were the ones that people would be going for. So just summing up, we have all kinds of information here, from education to profession and the role of the architect, technology, the software portfolio, etc. So this I hope hasn't been too long of a recording, but I wanted to get everyone's feet wet on the navigation of the actual community and of the wiki especially. Okay, thanks.